Hello, all my friends, everybody. Um, Congratulations on this Women's Day. It's um, it's an important topic, I would say. The 8th of March. It's it's the ladies' days, and why do we have this 8th of March? It's kind of a celebration of the women. You see, for ages in different cultures, the women have been much discriminated, and we are not allowed to do that. We are not allowed to discriminate anyone. But yet, the stupid men did, to, I hope, to their own regrets. Because you see, if you discriminate people, as they are not equal to you, that is kind of a thing that one should bear in mind, that the repercussions, if not the culture, the justice system, the law forbid you to do discriminating because they are women. You will be you will be treated equal to that degree that you will regret all what you did. But it's just a saying. I have no proof that that will happen, but I think that what you bring on to others, you will suffer yourself. I haven't seen examples of that, but we like to say it. We like to believe it, because in some way or form, the troubles that are with people that are suffering under other ones, other men. The men, in this regard, will suffer the payback on that, and I don't think men in general are that wise that they reflect over things that because it's kind of not obvious at all that we are paid back. We want to have children, don't we? So we do our thing and make it happen. And many men just go around fucking, and then the lady gets pregnant, and the men just leave that to the next. And that is not good. That is cruel act. Because if you are willing to fuck a lady, you should do it out of love, out of consent, out of that spirit of unity. If not, you can play with yourself. I don't know how to explain it be more clear, that you need to go play with yourself. Can't you do that? Is that a disgrace of you? I think that is honoring the women, that you can leave that kind of crazy stuff just to be someone. I don't understand the nature of some men that in order to prove they are able to reproduce or having children, like some of their sperms are so important to prove that they are able to make children. But what a false image! What a poor self-esteem! If that is the thing that you think that is about you, that is how low can that be in that regard? I'm shocked, because when people do go around and fucking, it's a kind of a game. I think it's a game for them. I'm not into that kind of game. I don't think there is any need for that. I have my children, but I don't. I have not the need of passing on my genes to every lady, and that is maybe what, in the first place, I think people blame the Bible to be a promoter of that kind of discrimination. I would like to see what kind of wording, what kind of scripture that is referring to. I have heard that people are referring to what Paul is saying in the New Testament in his letters, that the women should be separated away from the guys. And if they have some questions, they should ask their men at home. I think that is the most discriminating. I can agree to that, but it's not kind of very convincing that was discriminating. I think that Paul just made it as a suggestion, and there are also directives about women holding some status in the church, that they are not teachers or leaders, cannot be elders or pastors. I think to the degree that, to the level the men are today. Because, you see, the need of what can I say, the qualities of a lady, the need of nurturing, the quality of nurturing, the quality of protecting, the quality of making space for each and every one. Who wouldn't like to sit at his or her mother's lap and feel this kind of comfort? That is a high degree of what you can encapsulate the feeling of motherhood. To come to mother is profoundly the right way. It's in the Hebrew language you have this different thing that is either male or female, and in many cultures, according to their language, it's the language is reorganized around female and male. It's not discriminating. It is just specifying even clearer what it's all about. So in that regard, we can see the scripture in Bible, because our language, we have female and male language attributes, but not so much. I think most of the kind of sexual language have been altered to be very neutral, but in different cultures, by their language, there are very clear who, for example, in Thailand, I've been there, and if they want to thank I don't know whether it's opposite or something, but Kap Kum Ka is a thank you to the lady, and Kap Kum Kap is a thank you to a male. So I don't know whether it's the male that is saying Kap Kum Kap or the female is saying Kap Kum Ka, but it's the point is there that it's regarded as gender origin, the gender language of genders. So obviously you had this biblical culture that was not entirely about discriminating. It was about specifying what is what, where it was where, and the gender contributions and duties was reorganized. Which gender is doing what, and it was kind of obvious that it's to protect the male can protect, obviously, but to nurture, to give space, to give something of a female nature. We don't have that so very clear in our language, Norwegian, but I'm very, very well aware of that kind of difference of language. So you see, the women's rights is, I hope, it's taking the language back. I don't think much can happen. I'm sorry to say, I'm not very amazed of the improvement that have been made. Still, it's not equal rights, it's not equal wages, it's not equal duties. But the question is, should it all be equal? Like the duties at home, duties in the society. Is it so obvious that it have to be equal? I doubt it. It's not very given for me, and to treat women as men or men as women, it's kind of a discriminating in itself. I want the women to decide what they want, as they have fought for here in Norway, that the Muslims, the Muslim lady, should remove their scarf, their hijab, their nikwa, or whatever it is. They're protecting. Because it's a sign for these Norwegian, stupid, retard Norwegians, that it's a sign of slavery. It's a sign of that the women are discriminated. They can't go free. I think we got it all wrong. Fight for the fight that those that are oppressed are fighting. That is my message. I will congratulate all the ladies for their obvious case of liberty. It's not what they should earn by something. It's what they obviously should have in the first place. And I'm not the right to talk about women's rights or look at the Muslims. In many regard, I agree to that kind of oppression, discrimination, and so much more. Because if some Muslim, some Muslim countries or Muslim cultures, they deny the women, the girls, right to school, right to learn how to write and read, learn how to drive a car, learn how to be a politician, to be a professor, be whatever they would set their mind to. That is oppression, because in the first place, I have 3 daughters, and I said to them, if you can beat me, I mean, try. You are invited, because that is the fight. That is the fight you will learn about. Because if you can beat me, I mean, verbally, or fight me back, because I am just a human being. I'm a simple human being, and that is just stating the obvious. I'm not a big man that everybody should respect. Maybe I don't deserve it. So when they are able to retaliate against my rulings, it's kind of a learning curve for the children that I have, that I want to be mature, to be strong in themselves. That is much needed, because outside this little circle of family, they will meet so many attitudes that is not good for anybody. That is discriminating, that is doing such and such. So I was happy when they could retaliate against me. That is, I took my duties as a father very seriously. It's very important as a father that when you have daughters or sons, obviously, that you take them serious. You learn, you teach them that you can be very awkward, very slow, so they beat you on that. You deliberately do or say something they would oppose, and they learn by that. So you put up different things. You say different things, or maybe you a little bit push. Why did you do that? Don't do that. So they learn by just the smallest degree, so they can advance in a better way. So that is how I think it's good learning curve. Not to go overboard, but do a little bit pushing, just a game. So they get a hunch of it and will do it better after some years. So out there you meet so much attitudes that is so degrading for a human being. Attitudes that is regarding, especially nowadays, regarding women. And in those Muslim countries, I would also open my mouth. Who am I to not talk about that? I will fight that fight and bring it on. Because women should be able to decide for themselves. I know that in many Muslim cultures there are women that decide everything. If they want to change their husband, well, out with you, and so on. So if, but you see the the justice about those countries with women, they are stoned to death if they have been found together with someone, or just the notion of that someone thought that the husband thought that you were together with this neighbor, she will be dead, because that is just a claim which he will be approved of. Just a claim. There is no proof. There is no kind of convincing case, but only the pure evilness in that will make this lady suffer, slain to death. So that is a fight, I think it's concerning everybody, because injustice. How do you go along with an unjust system? It's not good, it's not right that there is unjust about people. There are so much cruelty today. So people need to be much aware. But today, if I'm okay, I don't mind everything else. And that is that kind of lack of suffering over people that aren't okay. That is pure evil. That is more than act. It's the same as acting bad or killing someone. If I just don't care, I have met many people like that. Sorry to say. I promised I would put words in my mouth, and here I am again and again. People's rights, women's rights. I'm not the best defender of that, but in some degree, we know what is right and what is wrong, don't we? We should put it out there. I saw some years ago there were rapes in India. It could be a clan of men that even on the bus in the pure daylight they could rape a girl, and she will not be defended. Most probably she will be found dead, because they rape her to them. How can people be so deeply cruel, deeply and profound cruel? Because I think just the pure fact that someone is hiding my case, hiding what I did, what I was saying, what I was doing, is the pure fact that we can do whatever we like. So I remember when I was a little child, way back then, as long as no one saw me, it was kind of okay. But my father had this kind of voice inside of me. He said that. He often come to me and said, Ole, is everything in order? Wow. You have to be in order. You have to be aware of your conscience. I think he did overdo it a little bit. Everything was wrong back then. Any sexual exploring was very wrong. So what could a little boy do wrong? Other than I went over to the neighbor. I found a rubber, and I showed it to my mother, and she asked very straight, "Where did you get that?" "No, I found it up. I forgot myself. I found it at the neighbor." "Ah, you have to go back and deliver it straight away. If not, I will do it together with you." I was so ashamed. I went back, delivered the rubber, and there it was. I couldn't take it, and that had been kind of a legacy. That even if you give me a kilo of gold, or just a gram, whatever that is, if you can trust me, I have to be answerable to that kind of trust. That I can uphold my word. So, my friend, that is the bravery, not to go around and do it with every woman or boy. No, it's keeping a promise, keeping a steadfast, straightforward life. You can't fool yourself if you know that there is something in your conscience that should be straightened out. You need to do it. You need to go and get your act together. That is how things are done. There is no other way than the justice way. Today we have a juridical system that even the advocate don't want to know the real truth. He just defend you for the pure fact that you have your rights. And I will also say that is also concerning God. It's just up to you to admit to the fact. No one can know it better than you. And if you say, "I am the man, I did this lady wrong, I was the man," there is some healing in that. To saying the truth, to talk the truth, is a healing of itself. So in time, you will be healed. If you continue to be honest, if you continue to say the truth. So my lady friends, to all you that have been discriminated, or just the pure fact that you know that women have hard time some places to defend themselves. We should stand up together and defend them. The women's rights to self-defense, to self-determination, to self-proclaiming that they are free. They are obligated to stand for their own sake and liberation. So in the name of liberation, I will bless everybody From my heart, deepest of my heart. It has been my fight too, and I want you to fight continuous.